Okay, so we will be connecting to the Lackey server,
Mhm.
loading up a deck, and I will be teaching how to play this wonderful game. So first we come up to the server tab and click connect to game matching server. Give it a second. We will go to this tab here that says FPG Guardians games. We will host a game, and we don't need a password. We can set the seats for as many as up to 10, and allow spectators, yes. Advertise basically just means it shows up over on the side, and host a game. And then we have style connect, so there we go.
Yep.
Our opponent is right here. We will next go to the deck editor tab. And I will go to browse. Now for style, I would suggest you go ahead and open guidebook the deck.
Okay.
I am going to pick the basic Knights theme. So we see here, this is our deck. Our quantity of each card is here, the name, and all the other text. Starting, this shows us our stronghold and our guardian. So we click load entire deck to you. So for this game, a mulligan is your opening hand with no shields. So for that, we have a button at the bottom here that says draw 12. So that's your opening draw. So we'll both click that now.
When you load entire deck to you, does it automatically shuffle? Or do you
Yes.
need to... Oh, it does. Okay, cool.
Yep. All right. Do you have any shields?
I actually need to update my plugin.
Why is it you don't have the draw 12?
No, I do. It's just telling me that we're not on the same
Oh,
plugin version. Yeah.
you might be fine because all I did was remove buttons.
Gotcha.
So, all right. So you do have a shield?
I'm waiting for it. It Lackey froze up. Okay, here we go.
Oh. Oh, and you left the game.
Yeah, it kicked me out.
All right. Try to update real quick. So because this will be a fun tutorial game, I can just go through some of the stuff that's here and put out my starting stuff. So we'll put our guardian off to the side. And if you look, our strongholds make a puzzle piece. So we find this is the middle piece. This is the left. And this is the right. We want to leave some space because we're going to be stacking cards all around these. And we want to, if we see the green number on our guardian, that's the number of power stones we have. So I will go ahead and right click, set green to 7, which is the 7 power stones right here. So our guardian has 30 health. The first number is the number of cards that we draw as our base draw for each turn. LDL means least disputed land spaces, which is usually a -1. Most disputed land spaces is a +1. And lowest up card, which we'll get to in a minute, is a +1. So at the beginning of your turn, at the draw cards phase, you would take your base 3 and then look at your modifiers. Did you have the lowest up card? If so, you get +1, so that'd be a 4. Did you have the most disputed lands? If so, that would be a +1, so you'd have 5 for your draw. If you had the least disputed lands, then it'd be a -1, so you'd be back down to 3. CMP is channeling power. We will get to channeling in a minute. This just tells you that you can send out, for every stone that you use, you can send 9 health to 9 vitality to a creature. Creatures cannot accept channeling higher than their base vitality. So if you send out 9 and your creature has a base vitality of 5, he only gets 5 and the other 4 just disappear. So that's one thing to keep in mind. If their base vitality is 18 and you channel to them, and you can only send out 9, so it'd be 18 plus 9 would be 27. So he would have a 27 at that point. Pretty sure that's the right math.
Yeah.
If you reach 0 power stones, you are not dead. Your vitality is all that matters. Your power stones is just how many times you can do certain abilities like channeling, and there's other cards that say burn a stone for this. You also burn a stone to make a face down terrain card, which we'll get to in just a second.
Sure.
So I see that you're back.
Yep.
Did you draw? I see you drew your 12. Do
I
you have a
did.
shield?
I'm taking a look. I am currently downloading all the card images. I hadn't done that before.
Oh
So
no! Okay,
the images are slowly coming through.
Yeah, you're gonna be a minute because there's a lot of cards. Okay, so we'll go through this.
Do not have a shield though.
Okay, so you're gonna have to mulligan anyway.
Okay.
So what you would do is off to the side of your hand, you would left click, hold it, and then select everything, and you'll see it all lights up with a yellow thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then right click, send to top of deck, and then you can right click on your deck tab to shuffle it. There you go. And then draw 12, and that's what you're stuck with.
Cool, that worked out. Now I have shields.
Yay. So in your starting tab, you'll find your Guardian and your Strongholds. And I'll go ahead, I'm going to drag some cards onto the field just to explain them a little bit.
Okay.
So obviously, that's a shield. You really can't miss that that's a shield.
Yeah.
In the bottom right-hand corner is, it says 10. That would be your up card number when we draw for up cards,
mm-hmm.
which is basically initiative in this game. And it also affects your draw, because you see the lowest up card is a +1. So if you go slower due to not having the initiative, the up card to go first, you get an extra card draw.
Gotcha.
There you go. Fix that for you.
Oh, cool.
So that's and then creatures, you would use their vitality for the up card number.
Okay.
So this swordsman would be a 6 for the up card. This shield would be a 10 for the up card. Shields have a maximum vitality of 30 that's allowed under them. There are other cards called shield terrain cards. I don't have any in this deck. That they say shield on one side and terrain on the other.
Okay.
Like I think it's shield across the top and terrain down the left-hand side. And actually, in the stream, I'll pull one up.
Okay.
Oh, there's a shield terrain. It says shield, but it also says terrain on the side. And it reminds you on the card text that you can only have 25 vitality under the shield, but you can also use this as a terrain card. So it's dual purpose. So there are in front of us 6 spaces that are between us. I will just 3, 4. I'll just do this. Oh no! Oh, there we go. Okay. So this is what the field looks like.
Okay.
We just don't have the middle areas populated. So what I'm doing here is I'm right-clicking and doing shield terrain as an option, because whichever way the card is facing is the owner of that card.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
especially when you got a lot of face-down terrain cards on the field, it's hard to keep track of whose are whose. So you look at how is the card oriented. Now, the 3 spaces in front of my stronghold are under my control from the start of the game. Even with no terrains on them, they still count as I own those 3 spaces. And the same with you. The 3 in front of you count as your terrain. To win the game, one of the win conditions is to control all 6 disputed lands in the middle of the table.
Gotcha.
Now here's the kicker. You already own the 3 in front of your terrain. So you would basically just need a shield to come up here and take one of these. And then if you can sweep and take the 3 in front of mine, even if the other 2 spaces in front of your stronghold do not have a terrain, you would win.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because you already own those spaces with or without terrain cards. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so this doesn't show up very easily. So this is a Lackey limitation. We're working around it. If you notice, this card here has a double border on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's showing up. Yeah, it shows up for me.
It shows up on the table as double bordered, but on the card preview on the left-hand side, it shows single bordered. That's a Lackey thing. We can't do anything about it. But there are some cards that tell you do something with a double bordered card or a single bordered card. And this is what it's talking about, is the backs of the cards. Now, a way to tell the cards in your hand that are double bordered versus single bordered is their spells and briberies and some, what's the word I'm looking for? Some magic items. Basically, anything that you would use in like in combat or during your turn.
Gotcha.
In Lackey, we have a cheat. If you look at the card preview and you see the green text that says double click to see other side or other face, that card stays in your hand.
Okay.
So if you're ever in like if you look at the shield, it does not say that. If you look at the swordsman, it does not say that. But if you look at the dispel magic, it does have that green text. So
gotcha. Yep.
You see the differences? Okay. Holding control and clicking on a card will turn it face down. This is important because this game is run on your opponent not knowing anything. You hide so much information from your opponent. It's a big game of chess.
Gotcha.
One thing to check real quick, since you just updated, go to your preferences tab, appearances, and make sure, see, I don't have it checked right now. Allow cards on table to completely cover other cards. It's down near the bottom.
Where's that?
Preferences and then appearance.
Appearance. Okay. To completely cover other. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Make sure it is checked?
Yes.
Okay.
Because under a shield, like this doesn't go under a shield, but we'll use it as an example. You want to stack these so that your opponent doesn't know how many cards are under there. So when I move the shield, you don't know if there's 1, 2, or 5 cards under it. If we don't fix that setting, Lackey actually sets up your shields to look like this. And that's not good because that tells you how many cards are under the shield.
Oh, yeah, okay.
All right. So let me go through the phases here real quick. Get this stuff off the table. Oh, ready all.
All my images are here, so I should be good.
All right, cool. All right, pulled everything back into my hand. Not that it matters because you've seen it all now.
Aha! I know.
Okay. First, we're going to, obviously, like every card game, we're going to skip draw cards because we just drew 12.
Mm-hmm.
This game is played simultaneous.
Okay,
So
cool.
we're going to do stuff when it hits next turn. It's not really you do your actions, I do mine. We do them all at the same time.
Gotcha.
Okay, create storage hand. What this is at the end of this draw and organize phase, where it says discard down to 7,
Mm-hmm.
you actually split your hand.
Oh, okay.
Anything that's left over, any creatures, any terrain, any shields that you have not used, you drag them into your creature pen tab.
Gotcha.
In a real life game, what you do is you tuck those cards underneath your guardian.
Okay.
So now, if you notice, the creature pen, you're not allowed to look at anything in your creature pen tab.
Oh.
In a real game, you cannot look at your creature pen at all once you put it under your guardian.
Okay, cool. And if they automatically go face down in creature
Yes, they
pen
do.
from the looks of it. Cool. Okay.
Another difference between this game and other games is your discard pile is secret from your opponent.
Okay, cool.
So you can click on your opponent and look at his discard, and you'll just see card backs.
Cool. Okay.
So that's another thing that is different about this game. So place cards. Now this phase is when you place face down cards on your strongholds. Okay. To build your shields. Now at the end of place cards, I should probably I should break this out a little bit more, because after place cards, you and your opponent amicably decide on who's going to play the first shield to the table and the other person, and so you take turns playing shields to the table. So, and there's a rule that if your opponent doesn't want to blink and play a shield first, and you don't want to play a shield first, flip a coin, somebody's playing the shield first.
Okay.
And then you discard down to 7, and then you split your hand. And that's when you take anything that's a creature or a terrain or a shield that you didn't use, and they go to the creature pen.
Okay, cool.
Okay. And then after that's movement and combat. Up card, which is initiative. There's actually a button for up card. What it is it's the top card of your deck drawn to the table. So you see,
Okay.
I got an archer.
Cool.
So my initiative or my up card is 6. So go ahead and click that for you real quick.
Boom. So I got. Wait. In that
4.
case, it'd be
Okay.
a 4? Okay.
Yeah, because it's your base vitality. Okay, the red 6. That's a good thing. The red number is what this card counts as while under a shield.
Okay.
So when it attacks, when it does anything, it's a 4, but when you calculate how much space it takes under a shield, it's a 6. Okay. Now, the fun thing about Cleric, bring that back.
Oh. Boom.
Okay, cool. So you see on the bottom right-hand corner,
Mm-hmm.
it says CMP, and that's green. Right above the little CMP,
yep.
It's a green bar. That means this creature can receive channeling, but it can only receive channeling up to its base vitality of 4. So let's say you're doing a face combat, and this thing has a base vitality of 4, and I put a 5 out. Well, you would lose this card, or you can channel to it, which would make it an 8, and you would win.
Gotcha.
Because your CMP is 6 on your creature, on your guardian. So you can send out a max of 6 per stone. Now, if something can receive more than 6, you can actually burn 2 stones to double channel to it.
Oh.
And you want to go to 10 stones because that's the green.
Oh, I have 10. Okay.
Yeah.
I was looking at the CMP. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
No, Harkin's a beast because he's the only one that's got 10.
Oh, okay. That ability makes way more sense now.
Oh yeah, well yeah, with Harkin it says you may not repeatedly channel
Yep.
to the same creature in combat.
Yeah, so I can only give one, basically a +6 to each creature.
Right.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
it can accept 6. Like
Sure.
your cleric can only take 4.
Okay.
But yeah, you
Now,
would
if
send 6, it would take 4.
okay, so I'll just lose the remainder.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Now, this also is another fun card to have because it says can heal 1 mortal.
Mhm.
Okay. Mortal is a color. It's this white color.
Okay.
You see the
The
white
white
border?
border. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a mortal. Elementals are gray and externals are black.
Just be an external.
That's an external.
Okay, sweet.
And that can receive channeling. That's a good card. Leave that there.
Okay, cool.
Because that's another thing I need to explain. Okay, so let's say let's say that's your card.
Mhm.
And let's say he dies.
Okay.
And she survives combat. She will be able to bring him back from the discard or prevent him from going to the discard pile.
That's what healing is.
That's what healing is.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. Now on Rixuk here, you see the little C with a lightning bolt in it?
Yes.
Okay, and it says you can channel to any creature in matchup.
Mhm.
That's gross. What that means, first off, is any creature, even if it has a red bar, you can channel to it. So,
So like this guy.
yeah,
Cool.
you can channel to that guy even though you normally can't. Actually, yeah, and notice he says no channeling versus him. So I can't channel to increase my creature. You would be able to channel to make yours bigger, though.
Okay. Sick.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's why I told you to load that deck. I love that deck.
Yeah, that seems fun.
So the C with the lightning bolt is called a command card
Mhm.
because for combat, which I'm jumping ahead, I'm sorry, you have the options to play command cards first. Okay.
Gotcha.
Command cards are think enchantments in Magic.
Okay.
They affect the entire field. Okay. Like I have a horse. Your first knight played receives +6 vitality.
Gotcha.
And it's a command card. So it would mean whatever the first knight I played, whether it's the first card or the last card in combat, he would get a +6. Now, this happy thing, Dispel Magic.
Mhm.
This is a very strong card in this game because it says negates any spell, item, or command card effect.
Gotcha.
So you play your
I can see why
Rixuk,
that's important.
and I say no.
And I say, darn.
Exactly. Or you can Dispel Magic my Dispel Magic. We
Let's
can go down that rabbit
go.
hole. Right. Dispel Magic is actually a common in this game, and
Okay.
it's one of the most versatile cards in this game.
I love that. That's fantastic.
So, okay, turning a shield. Let me make a shield. I don't. Oh, come back here. Okay, so to move a stack, you would do well. You've done it in MapleStory. You left click, you make the box, make
Yep.
sure the cards are highlighted in yellow, and they all move as one. Otherwise, you're taking just the top card. So for a shield, when it's your turn, you right click and rotate it to face it towards your opponent.
Mhm.
It's basically like tapping because you can't turn it sideways because then it would cover up the card underneath it, like
Sure.
the terrain or the stronghold. Your movement is 2 spaces, but you must stop at the first space that does not have a terrain. So I can go to this space here. See, I didn't select my whole shield. Yeah, I would be able to move here.
Gotcha. Okay.
Fine, stay. But let's say I had a terrain card here and a terrain card here. If I had this shield here, I could move here, then here, and be just
Gotcha.
fine.
Okay.
Or I can go here to here to here, because this is a space without a shield, or without a terrain.
Okay. And you have to stop at the first one you hit?
Right.
Okay.
You also have to stop if you hit your opponent's shield.
Okay, cool.
That's your movement limitations, and again, you have rotate to move to show that you've moved, because you
And once
obviously
again,
know where your shields are.
yeah, and you're moving the entire stack underneath the shield, or
Yes,
okay, cool.
the entire stack under the shield. Like
All
for
right.
some reason, it just didn't come with it this time, but
Yeah.
and then you would take turns. I would move a shield, you would move a shield. I would move a shield, you would move a shield, until either we say we're not doing it anymore, or you run out of shields.
Cool. Okay.
Because you on your turn you have to rotate a shield, even if it doesn't move, because you're saying, this was my active shield. I chose not to do anything with it. You can't outweight your opponent and be like, okay, I have 2 shields, you have 1. I go first, I rotate, and then you say pass. I move my second shield, and like, oh well, I'm going to move mine now.
Okay.
It doesn't work that way. After I move a shield, you rotate yours, and then you choose: are you moving it or are you keeping it still?
Gotcha. Okay. And if you decide not to move it, then you can't move it on subsequent turns. Is that how that works?
You
Or
move it the next turn, but
oh, okay, you can. Okay,
you can't move it next priority, I would call it.
I got you. Okay.
So that's movement. Okay, so once you are on a space without a terrain, you have 3 choices. 1, play a terrain card.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty self-explanatory.
Sure.
It would just go right under your shield. And again, making sure that the text is facing you to show ownership.
Sure.
The second is to burn a power stone, and take one of the cards from your hand, put it as what's called a face down terrain under your shield. So any card, you basically are just sacrificing it to become a terrain.
Okay.
And the third thing is you not burn a stone, but you discard a creature under your shield and you stay on that spot. The downside of that, outside of discarding a card under your shield, is you are still on a space with no terrain. So the next turn, that shield's not going anywhere because it's already on a space that has no terrain on it.
Gotcha. And the stones are the are green markers. Okay.
Yeah.
Do those get replenished at any point, or are those finite?
They're finite. There are
Okay.
cards that let you get one power stone, or get. I'm not sure if there's a get 2 power stone. I know there's a get 1.
Okay.
So, but basically they're finite.
Cool. Okay.
Which is why Harken's a beast at 10.
Yep. I like it.
Trying to think what else.
I'm liking this so far.
Combat. Okay. Go ahead. Put out some, or make a shield.
Mm-hmm.
Like on the table.
So we put down face down monsters first, and then the shield on top of them.
Yes.
Okay. Let's do.
Because I want to do a simulated combat.
How do you flip them in?
Control. Same thing.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that doesn't. Crap. There we go.
Okay, cool. So we'll just say these enter combat. So you take your shield off to the side, and so this is why it's important to have your hand split,
Mm-hmm.
because when you go into combat, the only thing that should be in your hand are cards that you can use for combat.
Okay.
So go ahead and do that real quick. Any creatures or terrain or shields that are left over, throw it into your creature pen. So you only have those cards with the green text on them.
Got it.
Okay. Now grab your shield and drag it into your hand. Not that. I'm sorry, I meant the wrong. The stack of creatures.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Man, I picked up bad couple creatures. Oh well. So first off, do you have a command card that you wish to use?
I do not.
Okay, I do. So I'm gonna do first night played receives +6 vitality. So my next card, so it's face down, played to the
Mm-hmm.
table. You play a creature.
I do as well now.
Yes,
Okay.
because this is a matchup. Okay. So now we reveal them. You have a 9. I have a 4. Even if I channel, I lose.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I can't channel
Yep.
versus your ogre. So in this instance, what happens is you would take your card and place it over mine like that to
Okay.
show that you won. If I had a ranged attack in my hand, he would go off to the side, and he would add his vitality to the cleric.
Okay.
Or no, the ranged attack would say X amount of range damage, and you would add the ranged damage to the vitality of the cleric.
Like that archer next to your guardian.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 3
3 point
points of
range.
ranged.
Mm-hmm.
So I could, if I had, let's say I had him in my hand, which I didn't, but let's say I did. So 4 plus 3 is 7, and then I can say, well, I'm going to channel. So it's 8 plus 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's 11. So we would actually win that combat
You
because
wouldn't
of
be
the
able to channel
ranged.
against the ogre though.
Right. Oh, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Under.
I would still lose that.
Ha.
I would still
Now,
lose that.
with the archer, would you play that at the same time as the cleric?
Yeah. Not
Okay.
at the same time. I would see what your reveal was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is perfect example.
Okay. Cool.
I don't need this because of the next thing I need to discuss. At the bottom of your card, you see where it says Vitality 9.
Yep.
Next to that is a 2 with
Mm-hmm.
a gray border. That is what's called your off color bonus. So if I had a elemental, one of the gray cards,
Mm-hmm.
you would get a +2 to your vitality. So he would be an
Okay.
11 versus an elemental. Externals, he doesn't get a bonus. Now notice
Okay.
you have the lips there.
Mm-hmm.
That means you're bribable by babes.
There they are.
So when I play this card, your creature. I should look this up. I have not used bribery in a long time. Okay, so it's forced into your creature pen. So he would actually be, unless you had a dispel magic,
Mm-hmm. Which I
he
do
would.
not.
So he would actually go back to your creature pen,
Okay.
like where it's tucked under your guardian. It's not in your shield anymore. He
Gotcha.
goes
Okay.
all the way home.
That seems strong.
And now this is a um, unopposed matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you have another creature?
I do.
Okay. So now you would play that against my face down card.
Cool, because this will explain what this does then.
Awesome. Okay. Face up. 17, huh?
Yep.
I don't stand a chance against that.
What is that 3-point AoE fear attack?
Okay, so there are different types of AoE. AoE is area of effect.
Mhm.
What that means is at this point I would have to go through my hand and what's on the board, and anything with a vitality of 3 or less would be affected, and I believe they go back to the creature pen.
So that could also affect anything that hadn't been revealed just yet in the combat,
Yeah,
right?
it
Okay, cool.
affects your combat hand, so anything that's still in your hand that you haven't played yet.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh no, they're discarded. Any
Shit.
creatures in the opponent's combat hand with a base vitality equal to or less than the value of the attack are immediately placed in the discard pile.
Oh,
Even if a creature with an AoE loses the matchup, the AoE still works as normal.
that's good to know.
So the reason why it's a fear AoE is
Mhm.
because there are some creatures that are immune to fear.
Gotcha.
There are some other cards that are just straight up, a 4-point AoE. And that would hit everything. But if you're 3-point, but if you had one that was immune to fear, then it would not be affected by this, even if it was a 3 or less.
Gotcha. Okay.
So now,
I think I like this card.
yeah. The other things on this card that I need to note for you and for other stuff. So you see the name is the Great Black Rishar.
hmm
On the left-hand side, the L means that it's a large creature.
Okay.
There are cards that deal with large and small and medium creatures. Small, medium, large. It's
Yep.
in that box. The other side, the F, is flying.
Okay.
Okay. Again, there are things that affect flying and do not affect flying.
Yep.
Now, there is a fun thing that you can do called flying a shield. If everything in your shield has flying, you turn every creature in that shield face up, and when you move it across the board, because as the rulebook puts it, if something's flying over your head, you know what it is. But you are not restricted to having to stop at the
Uh,
the first space on the board without a terrain.
is that referred to as fly into, or like because I have terrain
Yeah.
that affects flying into or flying out of?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
But let's say you were flying a shield from here.
hmm
You could actually skip this terrain spot altogether and come straight to here if your shield was flying, if there was no terrain in front of your stronghold.
And you said if you do that, then all of the monsters are revealed in that
Yes.
stack. Okay. Cool.
So I would be able to know what's coming my way because, like I said, as the rulebook says, you can look up and see what's there.
There you see. Every thematic reasoning had to have a rule.
Absolutely. So at this point, do you have any other creatures?
I do not.
Okay. So now, we'll go into secondary attackers. We'll just say I have the swordsman in my hand still.
Okay.
You're out of creatures. The cleric is unopposed, and I still have a creature left over.
hmm
So what my creature can do is do what's called a secondary attack, where I would take his vitality of 6, add it to the vitality of my horse, which is 3, so I'd only have a 9.
Gotcha.
But he's a knight, so he gets 6, so he's a 12. That's still only 15.
Mm,
So I still lose the spot.
okay.
So what would happen is this card that you defeated would get discarded. You do not do any damage to a secondary attacker
Okay.
at all. You just sit there and take it. You also cannot channel if your opponent has a secondary attacker that will kill you, and you can accept channeling. There are no modifiers that you're allowed to play against secondary attackers.
At what point do we channel during that combat, if we chose to?
Right after they're revealed, you do modifiers.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
like, if you had this matchup here, and I would choose, okay, well, I'm going to channel, and then you could choose to channel or do modifiers of your own at that point.
Okay. Cool.
But this survived. The swordsman survived because he was a secondary attacker.
Mm-hmm.
The cleric survived because it was unopposed, because I bribed away its opponent.
Sure.
And my horse survived because it was a command card. So I count up my vitality. So it's 4, 7, 13.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a 17.
Yep.
So for control of the space, I lose. And I have to retreat
Ah.
one space. And you stay where you were.
Cool.
If I am unable to retreat, you take the shield as a victory. And my cards get discarded.
Is that killing a shield?
Yeah, that's killing a
Okay.
shield. Killing a shield is also if you killed everything under the shield.
Ah. Okay.
Secondary attackers and ranged attackers can also hit a command card.
Oh. Okay.
So, like my horse is Vitality 3. If you had this swordsman, you could actually range attack and kill the horse.
Gotcha.
And then I would not get the +6 Vitality for any knight that I played.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing about secondary attack is, let's say I played this archer first, and he got his +6 Vitality from my command card.
Sure.
And then I played a cleric as a secondary. He loses his modifiers, so he loses his +6. He's back down to just a 6 and not a 12 when you add in the 4 from the cleric.
Is that because you're adding a secondary?
Because I'm adding a secondary attacker to this combat, yeah. So it's actually terrible for me to do a secondary with that. But that's also, if you channeled to win the combat, if I play something like, it's called an idiot, it has 0 vitality. If I did a secondary attacker with an idiot and it erased your channeling, which meant you lost the combat, you would actually lose.
Oh. That's awesome.
Yes, so all modifiers from the first round of combat are erased once secondary attackers are declared.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so at this point, I would have to put my shield, well, make it back face down again.
This one was my shield? Yeah.
Yeah. So let's say we were both like this, and then I was coming after you. I would have to retreat one space back to my stronghold. And then we would move on from there.
Okay, cool. I wouldn't advance, correct? I would just hold.
Right, because there's no terrain under you right now. If there was a terrain and you had not turned that shield, then you could advance.
Oh, that's right. I turned the shield.
You can chase me down if there's terrain in the way. Like if there's terrain for you to walk on that you own. Now, if you hit my terrain, you have to stop.
Sure. Okay.
But if it's your terrain that you're chasing me down on, you absolutely can initiate a second combat to wipe out that shield.
Gotcha. Okay.
The 3 win conditions are kill my guardian, get all 6 of the get all 6 disputed land spaces, and I want to say it's 6 shields for victory.
And shields are just a card in our deck, right?
Yeah, destroy 5 shields.
Okay.
So let's say you wiped out all the cards under this shield.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'll just turn face up so that I don't have to deal with it later. All these went to the discard. There's nothing left under the shield card. You would actually set it aside as a trophy.
Gotcha.
You get 5 shields, you win the game. You get all 6 disputed land spaces as your own, you win the game. You kill my guardian, you win the game.
How does one attack a guardian?
Get into that right now.
Oh, cool.
So, if you notice your stronghold, says +3 vitality to defending creatures and no flying allowed into to this space.
Okay.
But that's just for the middle one. The two sides are just +3 vitality.
Sure.
That no flying in is only on your middle space. So what would happen is I get a shield and I come into your stronghold.
Oh, okay.
After combat, if I win the combat, your terrain, your stronghold actually gets flipped over to the rubble side.
Oh, cool. That rules.
What that means is you can no longer play any creatures to that space. It's a dead space to you.
Okay.
But as soon as I win combat on this space, I can immediately attack your guardian.
Gotcha.
It's the only point in the game you can attack twice in a row. Because I don't have to move anywhere, because in a real game, your guardian sits right here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it's connected by all 3 of your stronghold spaces. So even if I attacked from here, I can still get your guardian.
Okay. As long as you take out any of mine.
Right, as long as I'm on any of these 3 stronghold spaces. So, yeah, I don't have. If I come from here and rubble this space, I don't have to also go here.
Sure. Okay. You're free to attack the guardian.
From here,
cool.
I get a free attack on the guardian.
Okay.
Now the guardian cannot channel to itself. The guardian is creature type guardian, so it does not give any off color bonuses. Even though the card is black, it does not give the external off color bonus.
Sure.
And it heals every turn.
Oh.
So you have to do that 29 vitality in one shot.
Gotcha.
There's fun ways of doing it.
I'm sure, and that sounds awesome.
Let me see if I know you have it. Let me see if I can find it in my deck. I think I was telling you about this. So if I get this card in a shield, attacking your guardian, and I play this. When played on a knight, currently in a matchup, both the knight and its opponent are destroyed. I get this little dinky 6 vitality knight across the board. He looks at your guardian, I blow him up, and your guardian dies, and I win the game.
I'm so in. I love this. This rules.
There are other stuff like that. There's a card called Greater Energy Elemental that allows unlimited channeling to it, not just the base vitality.
Oh,
so you get one across the board. You just dump all your stones into it, and there you go.
Sick. Yeah, I like this a lot. I like that there's numerous different avenues to victory, and they're all super weird in their own thing. Like, that's pretty cool.
Okay. Couple Lackey things real quick.
Sure.
So, for face down terrain, let me make this. So I did the right click and did shield terrain to make it oriented correctly facing me. Now, if you notice, we have a ready all button.
Yes.
This is helpful at the beginning of the turn because what it does is it will untap all of your shields.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Okay. But if you notice, it also put my shield terrain right side up as well. It untapped it.
Yeah. Okay.
So what we do is right click on it and lock rotation. We got this little red lock in the bottom corner.
Okay, cool.
Now, we can still click on this and rotate it all we want. The difference is this ready all button, I can click this all day and it will not. So that's the important thing about the face down terrains, is that you need to make sure the lock rotation, because with the way that Lackey works, you right click and lock rotation to remove that rotation again.
Okay, cool.
So if I had a shield on this terrain and I ready all, they stacked.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that's easy enough.
So, yeah, lock rotation, and then I have a rotated shield, and then ready all, and terrain stays.
I love it. That's super smart. That's a smart way around the limitation.
So, and that was a button that we took out because of the way that the buttons were working. You had to click on the card, come down and click the button for shield terrain, click on it again, and then click on lock rotation.
Okay, cool.
So that was the update that I took those 2 buttons out. I'm like, look, right click will just be a lot easier to do.
Agreed. That's smart.
Okay.
Also, what's up, Gimli?
It's all right. He's watching the stream.
Cool.
So, do you want to try a couple rounds of this real quick? I think I might have to leave here in a second.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this video is pretty long enough as it is.
50 minutes and 30 seconds, yeah.
Yeah, so this was a good rules primer.
Okay.
Let's run through a quick turn, and then we can probably call it at that, and then maybe like tomorrow or the day after do an actual game and record that, yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead, and what I can do here is just file and then new game.
That works.
And then you go back to your deck editor tab. Your deck should still be loaded, and just load entire deck to you.
Mm-hmm.
And draw 12.
Cool.
Do you have a shield?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So then we place out our starting cards.
Got pictures now, so I can actually make sure the right ones go out there.
What you're doing. And then set your power stones.
There's no like hotkey for that, is it? Like page up or page down or anything?
No.
Okay.
The only hotkey there really is you can click on your Guardian and then the red 1, green 1 button at the bottom.
Okay, that's smart.
So, because the green -1, when you burn a power stone, it's easier to just do green -1 than it would be to, right click, set green to whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, the other thing I just want to mention real quick, the red. We set that up as a gameplay tool if you wish to use it. I'll just do it on my stronghold here real quick. What it is, it's a red dot. You can hit it as many times as you want. Like right now, there's 5, but you can't see a number.
Okay. Gotcha.
We seriously put it on there just to mark this is my active card.
Okay, cool.
So like I said, that was something we put in there. Just like if you're rotating a shield and you're thinking, do I want to do this? Do I not? You got more than one shield. You can get distracted. Be like, wait, which one am I supposed to be moving? It's marked, and you can move on. So that's what you can do there. So, all right. Draw cards, we already did. Create storage hand, already did. Place cards. This is where you. Oh, one other thing I forgot about.
Yep.
Because again, there's so many rules.
I'm sure.
4 cards that are on your stronghold. If they do not have a shield, you pick them up at the beginning of your create storage hand. So I can dump my entire hand on my stronghold. If I don't have a shield, they all come back to my hand next turn.
Oh, they're just there as defensive means.
Right.
Okay, cool. In case someone invades.
The same thing goes for your stronghold upgrades. Those go back to your hand. And the other thing that goes there is sometimes there is a creature that has a CMP, the channeling power, and it's green. That will allow you to channel 2 creatures in the 2 spaces in front of it. Instead of burning a power stone, you would be able to use that creature to channel.
Sick. Okay.
But you have to keep its vitality in mind when moving into the spaces in front of it, because its vitality counts.
Gotcha.
So if you had a 10 vitality seeded as a channeler, you could only have max 20 in your shield, or else you just cut off that whole lane from being able to move into it.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, so place cards. Like I said, this happens both at the same time.
Is there any way to actually place them in a stack in your hand?
No.
Okay, so you just have to put them out one at a time.
And if you turn them all face down, drag them onto the field, they get tiled. So they get all like majorly spread out. So you got to do them all one at a time.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to reveal this card to you just because it completes a point from earlier.
Gotcha.
Marshall, +2 vitality all your knights while he's in play. Fine. Immune to fear. So remember your 3-point fear AoE?
Even
though he's an 11, he would have been immune to it even if he was a 1, because he's immune to fear.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
You don't play a shield yet.
So are we creating like multiple stacks right now, or is it just a one stack? Okay.
No, multiple stacks. I'm just putting. This is just my staging area off to the side here.
Okay. Damn it.
So see, I move
Cool.
this here, and then I can do.
That's weird. Oh, never mind. There we go. All right, cool.
All right, do you have any other cards to play?
No.
Okay, so play shields. What's the next step? I will go ahead and play a shield. And then you have the option to play a shield now. And then I'm not playing another shield. Do you wish to play another one?
I will.
Okay. Okay, shield terrain card.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make sure there's 25 or less under that shield for total vitality.
Good. I didn't think about that.
Another one of the fun secret things about this game is once a shield leaves your stronghold, you are not allowed to look at it until combat.
Okay, cool.
All right, I still don't have another shield, so if you want to go for it, go for it.
No, I'm good.
Okay. So discard down to 7 cards, which you don't need to.
Nope.
All right, now you create your storage hand or storage depot, whatever. Anything that's a creature or a terrain or a shield goes into your creature pen.
Okay. Cool.
All right, we cool?
Yep.
All right. So movement, combat, up card. I got a 3. Beautiful.
4.
Okay. So you would go first. You are now the active player.
Is this discarded?
No. Oh, I forgot to mention that. Thank you. This is part of your draw.
Oh.
So next turn you have a draw of 3.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just gonna say you have 3 because you're not gonna get any more disputed lands, and you don't have the lowest up card.
Sure.
So you would get your up card plus 2.
Okay.
And like I would get my up card plus 3 because I got lowest up card, so I got to draw plus 1.
Gotcha. Okay.
You got that?
Yep.
Okay. So rotate a shield. You can right click rotate.
That's right. Both of them or just one?
One at a time.
Okay, cool.
Because we are on active player turns a shield.
Yeah, I rotated mine.
All right, active player movement options. Are you moving it or are you leaving it still?
No, I'll move it.
Okay. So go ahead and move it. All right. Switch active player and repeat. Switch active player and repeat. So now you're active player. All right, I have no more shields. You have no more shields. Terrain settlement. Remove old terrain cards. There are none.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, place terrain cards under all of your shields. Now, this is where you grab the cards from your creature pen tab.
Okay.
Bring them back into your hand because you would put terrains under the creature pen.
Cool.
This is also the point where if you're going to do a face down terrain, it could be anything.
Okay.
So, and then you would burn a shield, or not a shield, burn a power stone to make it face down. So I am going to burn a stone.
Is this done simultaneously, or is it just?
Yeah.
Okay.
So do the shield terrain. You don't have to do the shield terrain thing or locked rotation because those are horizontal cards anyway.
Okay.
Those don't ready when you hit ready all. Did you seriously? Oh, you did pull 2 terrain. That might need rotated. Oh no, it says terrain facing you. Okay, that's good.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah. And did you lock the rotation on that one?
Nope.
Okay, you can click underneath your and just do the
There we
lock.
go.
There you go. Perfect. All right.
I don't need to do the other terrain lock rotation, do I?
No, not
Okay.
at all.
Cool.
Okay. That's a turn.
Cool.
Go to
That's
the top.
easy enough.
Draw cards.
Now,
So,
and how do we determine how many cards we draw?
okay, so next to your vitality, you have a 3.
Yep.
Okay. LDL is least disputed lands. MDL is most disputed lands. Those don't come into play yet because you're still in the terrains that you own. LUC is lowest up card.
Which would be you.
Which would be me. So you get just your base of that 3.
Okay.
And your up card, your carrying guy, counts as 1 of those 3.
Gotcha. Okay, that's right.
So he goes to your hand, and then you draw 2 more.
Cool.
I get my Dispel Magic and 3 more. Okay. Next is Create Storage Hand. Now, my cards that are on my terrain go back in my hand because they did not have a shield on them.
Oh, okay. But mine stay there.
But yours stay there because you have shields on them. You don't have any creatures without terrains on them.
Gotcha. Okay,
Which, if you see my hand, is now 10.
Yes. Which you place cards first and then discard down, right?
Right.
Okay, so you should, yeah.
But that means I have to make sure that I have enough to do that.
Yep.
So, all right. So now we are at place cards. And this is done simultaneous.
Cool.
I see where you're going, and I don't like it. Do you have nothing to place?
I'm not going to play anything.
Okay. Gee. Then I will go ahead and play a shield. All right, discard down to 7. Neither one of us have to worry about that. Create your creature pen.
Cool.
All right, and then up card. 10.
I got 4. So you got me.
Yeah. Good old 10. Oh, ready all. So I am active player now. Ew, okay. It's inevitable. Let's do some combat.
Yeah. I figured, we would at least do this turn because that would lead us to combat.
Yep.
And that'll be cool to show off. All right, so we put them off to the side?
I just drag it out of the way enough to kind of show where we were, and I can grab the cards underneath it.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Do you have a command card?
I do not.
Well, then I will play a spell. 4-point AoE attack. So if you have anything of Vitality 4 or less, it goes straight to the discard pile.
I take a look at these now, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. 4 or less? No, we're good.
Aw. Okay. So now we do matchups. Face down, bring a card out.
Now, does this have to be in the same order that we stack
No.
them? Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Whatever order.
Cool.
You can start out strong and go to weak. You can start out weak and go to strong, however you think. It's the mind game, because if you think I'm going to start out strong, you start out weak so that as it goes on, the power levels cross.
Gotcha. Okay.
And the other reason for the shields to be secret is you don't know if secondary attackers are coming or not.
Sure.
All right, go ahead and reveal.
I got a +3 Inspire.
And we're inspired, so you have 8.
9. Yeah, which is still not enough.
So, all right, so here is modifiers. Do you have gold bribery?
I do not.
Okay. You got a 0 because your off-color bonus is actually mortal. But it's a 0, so that doesn't count. And you can't do channeling. Do you have a spell that would be playable now?
Yeah, I can do Power Lunge, so allow it to receive channeling.
Okay, so now you can burn a stone and send 5 channeling to that. It would still lose, actually, because it would. No, it wouldn't. You would win.
Give it +6, yeah.
No, +5 your base vitality.
Oh, you're right. So I'd be at 13.
No, yeah, you'd be at 13. You'd still win.
Okay.
So
yeah,
burn a
definitely
stone.
want to do that.
That's so mean.
Haha.
Oh wait. Dispel magic.
Yeah. Do we just keep going back and forth?
Yeah, like if you want to dispel my dispel, you can.
Gotcha. No, I won't. So I'll
Okay.
with that. But I could play a different spell now, correct?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's do that again.
Well, let's do that again.
Ah, crap. Okay.
Go ahead and get your stone back because you didn't burn it because I.
Oh, sure.
Just do the green +1.
Did I do green -1? I did.
Yes, you did.
Cool. There we go. All right, so never mind then. Yeah, right. I'm not going to play anything else.
All right. You made me work for that, man.
Yep. This 5 vitality creature.
Yeah, exactly. But that's how this game goes.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, so next attacker. Reveal. Oh, dude. Really?
Big boy.
Oh, wait. So he had +2 vitality for all knights. So he's at a 9 versus your 10. Fine. 3-point AoE. 3-point ranged, I mean.
Gotcha.
So.
And I can't play like another, that's just as like a secondary.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Right.
Could I not play a secondary for
Actually,
the polarized
no,
order?
it's not a secondary. This is a ranged.
Oh, okay. But you can just play a ranged at any point during combat to modify? How's that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the ranged is counted as a modifier. We can look at... That's secondaries. Primaries, secondaries. This little itty bitty book. All right.
Secondary attack.
Yeah, so so both of these would actually live because they're a combined attack versus you.
Okay.
It's not a secondary. It's a ranged attacks are a modifier.
Okay.
Because I'm not attacking with that 6 vitality, which would be a secondary. It is using the 3-point ranged, which is a modifier.
Okay, cool.
And do you have any other creatures?
I do.
Okay.
Keep accidentally rotating them when I'm trying to grab them.
Yeah. Okay, that's just gross.
Yep.
Really?
All the ogres.
All the ogres. Alright, so there's no way for me to save that one. Alright, so now we go into resolution.
Mhm.
Your defeated cards go to your discard pile.
Cool.
Mine goes to the discard pile. And we count up the vitality that's left. So 11 plus 7 plus 6.
You got me.
Lot.
Yep.
Yeah. So what would happen is now I would be on your spires.
Mm-hmm. And I'd have to retreat.
And you would
now,
have
is
to
this
retreat.
face down or face up at this point?
It's still face down.
It is, okay.
Now, actually, this is an interesting thing, is that if I force you back onto your stronghold like this,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say you had defenders on that stronghold.
Sure.
When you backed up, those defenders would go under your shield, but if you were over 30, you would have to discard down to 30 vitality.
Is 30 the maximum for a stack?
Yes.
Okay. Unless
so
it's like a shield terrain.
Right, then it's 25.
Okay, cool.
There is ways around it. There's some cards in Drifter's Nexus or Necropolis Park. I get those separate. I get those two confused all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it's Drifter's Nexus, where there's actually 2 or 3 cards that have minus vitality to them. So they would actually allow you to have more. Like there's Scamp Jones that's minus 5 vitality. So you'd have 35 under a shield with Scamp Jones in there.
Gotcha.
But yeah, default 30 is your goal, 25 for a shield terrain.
Okay, cool.
Okay. It is now, you're the new active player.
Cool.
Now you can come and attack me, or you can go straight ahead.
Now let's attack.
You're going to attack.
I'll move over. Yep.
You're going to take me out, huh?
Yep.
All right.
Oops. Well,
it's a very good thing to do.
I meant to grab him.
All right. You got your thing? Your creatures? All right. Do you have a command card?
I do not.
Okay. Do you have a spell that needs to be played before combat?
Nope.
Okay. Primary matchups. And reveal.
Ah, damn. You got him.
Oh, just barely. Okay, so he's one of those ones, like I was mentioning earlier, the size of the creature matters.
Mm-hmm.
So he's plus 10 if it was a large creature, or minus 7 versus a small creature.
Yep. Cool.
But I'm medium, so sorry.
Rest in peace.
Sorry, not sorry. Do you have another?
I do.
Okay. Reveal. No channeling. Opponent can't channel to any creature in combat. Okay, if you're unbeaten. So it's 13. I have 7, 9. You got me on that one.
Cool.
And do you have anything else?
I do not.
Okay. So now, okay. So now this is a secondary.
Mm-hmm.
So my marshal gives +2 to all knights, but the Axeman that you've already defeated, the +2 on him goes away. So he's no longer a 9, he's back to a 7.
Okay, cool.
But my archer, that's a 6, does get the +2. So he's an 8.
Mm-hmm.
So you take the 8 plus the 7, and that's 15.
Yep.
So that does defeat your 13.
Okay. Gotcha.
Now, here's the thing: is my creature still goes to the discard. The one that you defeated, my Axeman, goes to the discard. Both of yours go to the discard, and these 2 will remain. So he goes to the discard. That's my shield.
Yep. So you would get that shield now.
And yep, I would claim this one as a trophy.
Cool.
And that's it. I mean, so I would sit. So what would happen is terrain settlement. I would grab my cards.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where the phase of remove terrain cards comes from.
Okay.
Because you would take that and put it in your discard.
Oh.
Because I'm removing yours, to put mine in place.
Oh, you don't just take mine. Okay.
I don't take yours. Your spires don't stay there.
Gotcha. Okay,
it's completely overtaken, because what happens is there's a lot of bonuses. Like you saw the one creature was plus whatever inspires.
That makes sense.
You don't want to leave that on your opponent doesn't want to leave that on the field for you to keep getting that bonus.
Sure.
And there's ones that I think spires prevents flying. So if I have a flying deck, you bet I want to take out the spires and put something else there.
100%. That makes sense.
So,
cool. Okay.
Actually, now we have come to one last thing, and then we'll wrap this up. We're going on hour 15.
Damn.
So now I have a terrain in your area.
Yes.
You get the least disputed lands penalty, and I get most disputed lands because I have my 3 plus the 1 that I just took from you.
Oh, so I actually draw less now.
You actually draw. You have. Well, you have lowest up card on me, so you get the +1, but you get that -1 from the least disputed lands.
Damn.
So you'd get a 3 instead of a 4.
Okay, gotcha.
Because remember, you own the 3 spaces in front of your strongholds by default.
Sure.
So if I take any of those away, then that's when we start looking at most disputed, least disputed.
Sure. Okay.
Make sense?
And a disputed land is only if there is terrain there, correct?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right.
It doesn't matter. So this...
Once you're in my 3 above my stronghold and all that.
Yeah, well, even the 3 in front of my stronghold are counted as disputed land spaces. I just own them as default.
Sure. Okay, that makes sense.
So that's why when you come and take one, it's the ownership changes for the disputed land space, and then that's when we start worrying about most and least disputed lands.
Sweet. Okay, that makes sense.
Got it?
Yep.
You looking forward to a full game?
Yeah, actually, this is not as impenetrable as I thought. It's definitely rules heavy, but I imagine deck building would be a nightmare. So I'm cool with just running.
All my decks are not that good.
That's fair. I mean, I'm just gonna make stupid meme theme decks like I always do anyway. So
right. Well, that's what. If you look at the basic decks, they are basic meme theme decks.
Hell yeah.
And that's actually what I'm playing is the Knights deck from the theme decks that I built.
Yeah, that one seems good. So, yeah, no, this is cool. That I feel like I have a grasp of the game, and I could definitely play a match.
Awesome.
And not other than certain questions that'll pop up, but it's not going to be a trouble playing
card game.
Yeah, 100%.
So, but yeah, I mean, you have the gist of it. A lot of this is just read the cards. You see the turn sequence. It looks like a book. It's not that bad once you start going.
No, I mean, that's not bad, and I like that I like that you actually broke it down like that. It makes it much easier. And
I have to thank PJ for a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
PJ pushed me a lot on some of the design features.
Thanks, PJ.
Like if you notice on the turn sequence, you see where it says ... A ... B ... C.
Yes,
that was him to indent those.
That's smart. I like that.
I just had them straight down, and then he edited them to put the ... to indent them, and I'm like, that makes it look so much cleaner.
Yeah, that rules. I like it a lot.
So PJ pushed me a lot in this build to get this plugin going. So I can't thank him enough for, like I said, doing a lot of this. The horizontal cards were his idea.
That's smart too.
I had everything as vertical cards. He's like, why not make them horizontal by default?
Good guy, PJ over here.
So, but yeah, like I said, that's why I try to throw, credit his way. I'm the big mouth. I'm the one that's up here saying, come play this game.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure he gets the credit he's due because he's the one that manually edited all these cards.
Gotcha. Okay.
He's the one that pushed design features, like the shield terrain button, the lock rotation button, the horizontal cards, the indentation on the turn sequences. Those are all PJ.
Yeah, and this is super intuitive. This is phenomenal. Like for such a game that has so many moving pieces. Like the two of you were able to come up with something pretty brilliant in Lackey.
So, and that's
not that Lackey's by any means garbage software, but damn, you really did work around the limitations that Lackey does have.
And it was also PJ for, since we couldn't see the card backs, to have the rubble spaces for the strongholds show up on the table.
That's cool. I like that.
And the card backs themselves with the single and the double borders, they're not that pronounced and bold on real cards. He
Yeah,
actually went in and edited those to make
cool.
them. The way Lackey works, it was only creating one rubble card, one bold single border, and one bold double border. But it was his idea to get those bolded and pronounced so you could see it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like I said, I owe a lot to him on the visuals of this. I've been under the hood the whole time,
Sure.
So when he's like, "Look at this," I'm like, "I just see code. Okay, let's do this.
Let's go."
I was like, "Yeah, let's roll with it and see what happens."
Yeah, I mean, this is now playable online, which is huge for this game. So
yeah,
cool, and in a pretty clean and easy fashion. So I like it. Yeah, well,
that's what I'm hoping. Like it looks like an elephant, but it's not.
I can't imagine looking at the physical game and not thinking the same thing. So
yeah, the physical game.
So like it comes with the territory. If you're interested in Guardians, I think you're going to be fine dealing with what like Lackey is not as hard to learn as Guardians is from the looks of it. So I think we're okay.
Yeah, and we can go over the other, like the deck editor and stuff, but well, you've done that with Maple Story, so you know all about that.
Yeah, I mean I've been playing on Lackey for quite some time now.
Awesome. Okay, so let me go. I'm gonna stop this recording. It is
cool.
an hour and 21.
Ooh.